You told me on the phone that you see things. If you do still, what are they?
People. Or a person.
I just wanted to tell you that a little panic attack at the park is all. That's why I'm a little late. It's time to turn the page to the next chapter. Oh! God!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Hollywood Interviews. Today, I'm here with Alex Javo. And how you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. All right. So you are my first guest ever on this show, and you're my first repeat guest. So that's awesome. Thank you for coming back. So
thanks for having me, man. Yeah, it's always fun.
So we, the first interview, we touched base on a lot of stuff. So this time around, I kind of just want to pick your brain on what you've been up to. What have you been doing there in the film world?
Well, 2021, it's picked up a lot, which is great. I've been, there's been 3 feature films this year that I've booked that I am not really allowed to say too much about them. They're 3 great parts, and with 3 great directors. One's a horror film that's coming out in October. The other one, I'm filming in a couple weeks, and they're all great. I'm really fortunate to be able to shoot with these great directors and actors, and the crew's great, and it's been a great experience this year. This year's been great.
So I want to personally, first off, I want to talk about the short you did Alone. That was, I've watched it 4 times already because I love your performance so much.
Thank you.
How did you get into that mindset for that role?
4 times. Wow, you must really like it.
I do, actually.
Everyone loves seeing a guy go completely insane.
Right.
No, Alone, the director, Edwin Berrien, he's a great guy. He's a dear friend. He cast me in this short film last year, or actually the year before last year, called, it's a color series that he's doing where each episode is a different color, and the first one's blue. And that was a great experience. I met him through a mutual friend from high school. And, but no, Alone, that character, Adam, it was just, I was looking at, this guy is a law student, which is a little different, so these, I was trying to get into the mindset of, every stereotypical, lawyer and how they think, and we've seen a lot, we've seen in movies, I was referring a little bit to The Judge with Robert Downey Jr., and because he plays a lawyer, and then Liar with Jim Carrey, and as he played the lawyer. And both those characters, I noticed that Hollywood, or at least the way they played and the way the story was, that they portrayed such pretty arrogant kind of personalities early on in the film. So I really wanted to incorporate that as a young senior in law school, coming fresh out of law school, and that he's about to graduate, and that he's in that, he's got that, arrogant, ignorant kind of attitude. So that he can just, fix anything, or he's used to practicing that people are coming to him for help. And so, so in the story, when he, is brought to the point where this possession, he's being possessed by this demon, or this, spiritual being, that he is, I wanted the audience to see that he was slowly being broken by this possession, and that he, had to put his arrogance and that kind of attitude to the side and seek help himself. Because I don't think a lot of, or at least, a lot of lawyers really seek help, seek therapy. So you see that, and so I hope that, we played that convincingly, that he's being broken. So that's why in the mirror scene when he's, talking to himself and, just psyching himself up, saying, that this can't this happening to me, and it's, like, no way. And then he finally goes, yeah, it is. So you got to do something, pal. So.
True. Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, I've literally watched it 4 times, literally just because of your performance. It's just I love the performance, and that's just true. I don't know if lawyers. I know cops have access to therapy, but I don't think lawyers do. Which, like, you think they would.
Yeah.
All right. Same with Contender. It's another awesome role. Like, what was your process for getting into that? Like, that character?
Thank you. Contender was, believe it or not, the first film I was ever cast in with lines. That was the first time I'd ever been given a character that had lines. I had done a short silent film before. That was, with a friend. We were just playing around with the idea of no sound, of what you could, how you could physically, tell the story without words, without lines. And then before that was just being background, being an extra on movies and shows in Atlanta. And but Contender was a great opportunity. That character, and was, that story kind of relates to a little bit of the the obsession of a character and their and whatever their occupation is, and what they and just showing what lengths someone is willing to go to for their craft or whatever it is. And this particular story was boxing. And so you see Jordan, you see him, he's sick. You find that out when he's arguing with his trainer, that he's sick and he wants to fight anyway. And because they're low on money and all that. And then you see that he's willing to risk losing his girl, and then at the end of the film, he's even willing to fight and perhaps lose his life for greatness, for that, and because he's just that pure passion. And so his thing is his thing was that he was very driven, and he was obsessed with it, and he was willing to take his own life to to be great. So
yeah, just another stellar performance from you. It's crazy. Even Homicide Hunters, when you played the character, it was an awesome role. Like, you killed it. Like, thanks. It was crazy.
Yeah, Kino Garcia. That was a fun. that was a really fun shoot. Very fun show. Yeah, I went out to Tennessee and we shot it, and it was a blast. It was a great cast. We all really jived, really got along, and yeah, that was a very fun experience.
Oh man. Oh, and let's talk about your award-winning short film Enzo. What's next with that?
So Enzo, yeah, it's been we've been putting into film festivals, and the Golden Short Film Festival nominated for Best Actor and then the Best Film. And it's in the Bite Size Film Festival, and then it was in the Global Shorts, which we won special mention. And then so what's next for Enzo is I've currently got part 2 written. I'm planning on shooting Enzo 2 this year sometime later on this year. I do have a feature film length script I'm working on for Enzo. And yeah, so we're just Enzo will be back, for sure. So look out for that.
So hold on. So you're doing a feature for Enzo?
Yeah, I'm writing it. So when we find um, more producers and more funding, that we can actually have the be prepared and have the feature length ready. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's exciting. That is that's the news I want to hear. Actually,
Thank you.
I think I asked you last year if you ever thought about taking Enzo into a feature.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like it's just crazy stuff. All right, so you are kicking butt right now. So what do you got coming down the pipeline here soon that you can talk about?
Well, like I said, the 3 feature films are currently we've shot. I've shot two of them. We've wrapped on 2 of them, and they're in post production right now. Another one, we're about to shoot, and that's going to be another great one. But the only things I can really talk about is some of the short films I've done this year. There was a 48-hour film festival project that I was invited to play in with a dear friend of mine named Dave Rashkumar, and I met him at church, met him at Free Chapel, and he's a great director. He's done a lot of great short films, and he's a great writer, and so yeah, there was this 48-hour film festival that he that he was putting together with his team, and so yeah, it was a fun experience. We just for those who don't know how the 48-hour film festival works, is they give you a genre Friday. It's at 7 p.m. They give you a genre, and by that genre, you write the film. You get your actors together, your team, you get your locations, you go and shoot the thing, and then you got to have it edited and finished by Sunday at 7 p.m. So it was a fun experience. They cast me as the character of a Cupid, and so that was fun. And earlier this year, I played another a mythical character. I played a Saint Nicholas in a short film called A Christmas Wish, and so that was a fun experience. And other than that, it was just last year we did this film, or we did this series called Empowered. It's a sci-fi show that's on Instagram television on Wild Imagination Productions, and so the creator of that is getting together the feature film for that, and so I play an FBI agent that you see later on has powers, and then that was fun, and then what was another one? Yeah, it's just been great this year. This year's just been a lot more productive. I mean, everyone was it was unexpected, unfortunate last year what happened with COVID, and then but this year's been looking up. So
Dang, yeah. So excited to see all this stuff. But yeah, Empowered was great. I did watch that. That's on Netflix. That's on Instagram. And yeah, it was awesome. The special effects are really pretty cool too. I love that part.
yeah.
All right. So something I've been asking my guests here recently is because I found out everybody has a different process. What is your process to getting into a role, memorizing the lines and things like that?
Well, there's the way I look at it is, every role is different. And what's very helpful is there's a lot of different techniques and ways that, to go about it. I think the most basic way is to, find out what your character wants throughout the story and wants throughout the scene. And then, with every story, it's you find out who the person is, and then what they desire in life and in a scene, and then but there's something in their way of getting it, and that's what makes the story. And so really, that's the most basic way to, I think to approach it. And then, and all these other exercises just help you with, getting into the mindset of what this character would be like, and there's different factors about, is it a different time period? Is it today? Is it, who is this person? What is their family like? Like, where are they coming from? Because you got to know where they're coming from to see where they're going, yeah, there's a lot of different ways. I think it just depends on the role and yeah, how much time you've got to prepare for it, and yeah, but it's all just such a blast, all these different techniques and everything, and because everybody's different, every performer has their way or different ways, and it's just a fun experience.
Awesome. Okay, so there's something I ask all my guests. There's two things I love in this world: food and movies. So what is your go-to restaurant and what is your go-to movie?
Go-to restaurant. Oh man, my favorite restaurant in the world right now is Provino's Italian restaurant. My family and I have been eating there since before my sister was born, and it's just, I love it. Every time I'm in there, I was in there yesterday. Last night I was in there, and so it's funny you say that. You asked that now, because I was literally in there last night. It was just awesome. It was just, I don't know. I just my family's always gone there, and for special occasions, for birthdays, and we just go there all the time. I love it. And favorite movies, my top three favorite movies have always been The Dark Knight, Rocky, and The Godfather. Trying to think of the top five would be, I absolutely love Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
And I can't think of the fifth right now, but of course, Taxi Driver.
Oh, for sure. What's
Of course,
crazy is right now I'm at my home in Walterboro, South Carolina, where part of Forrest Gump was filmed.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it's just Forrest Gump. You see, I lived in Gulf Shores, Alabama for middle school.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, Forrest Gump was always playing. My grandpa, he was in the Army, and he's from Columbus, Georgia. So he obviously just really loved Tom Hanks' performance and Forrest Gump, and so yeah, I've been watching since I was a kid, over and over again. Tom Hanks is just one of the greatest, and was especially, that movie, that one in Philadelphia, and Big, and even recently Sully, and he's just amazing. Him, and
yeah, he doesn't give bad performances for sure, but
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Alex, it's been a delight. You're doing it, man. You're doing it. That's awesome. I can't wait to see what you do next. Y'all go check out Alex's work. You can find him on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel with all your content. So yeah, God, this has been awesome. Thanks for stopping by and talking with me, bud.
Thanks, Dustin. It's always a pleasure.
We'll catch you later.